SportsBeat is brought to you by Ken Garth. We hear you.
Thanks for watching SportsBeat. We'll have the latest on the Utah Jazz and their 8-game win streak coming up. All right, now we turn our attention to the NBA and the Utah Jazz. There is no team hotter in the NBA right now than the Utah Jazz. Winners in 13 of their last 14 games, which includes the longest current win streak in the league, 8 in a row.
Yeah, the Jazz have been lighting it up from downtown. The bench has gotten better and better over this streak, but the steady influence throughout it has been Rudy Gobert. The big man recorded his 27th double-double of the season last night with 15 points and 13 rebounds. He also had 5 blocks, yet he still isn't making a blip on the All-Star radar with fan voting. Everything he does on the court that makes the Jazz a better team won't be seen by fans in highlight reels or in stat books. Coach Snyder says that's part of what makes him special, though.
So his playmaking ability out on the floor, just, it doesn't have, it's not playmaking in the way that, Donovan would make a play, but it's equally effective when he's precise. And to be precise, that's simple, fundamental things that you have to work on and repeat, and then they become habits. And a lot of times guys don't want to work on that stuff. It's not glamorous, to go out there and pivot and pass, but you see it show up in the game.
The Jazz' other potential all-star and leading scorer, Donovan Mitchell, was barely even a factor in last night's win, just 4 points on 2 of 9 shooting. There's a reason. He's been playing through sickness for the past couple of games. Coach Snyder still played him 22 minutes because he knew Donovan would still give his team max effort.
Sometimes there's games where you don't feel, 100%, let alone 80%, and you could see it the first, 4 or 5 minutes of the game. He fought through some stuff tonight, and usually, when you look at it, what he had 4 points or something, he still defended. And, other guys have an opportunity to score, but he didn't let his teammates down on the defensive end.
Well, 2 of the Jazz 3 leading scorers last night came off the bench. Jordan Clarkson led the way with 20 points, and George Niang added 15 points on 5 of 9 shooting from three-point range. In fact, Niang is 18 for 31, 58% from 3 over the past 5 games. The minivan is cruising.
Yeah, minivan! Let's go!
But it feels, really good, shooting the ball. Obviously, when shots go in, you feel great. So I think all of us are playing well right now. We're just trying to continue that one game at a time.
Next up for the Jazz, a 3-game road trip beginning tomorrow against the Washington Wizards. They'll also visit the Brooklyn Nets, and for the second time in 10 days, the New Orleans Pelicans. And to keep the win streak going, Coach Snyder wants to see some consistency.
The challenge is consistency. So if we had 2 good quarters, then the next quarter's got to be that way. And I think it's the same, from game to game as it is from minute to minute, basically. I'd like for us to keep doing what we're doing, and, we have to keep guarding.
I have to say minivan is the best nickname in the NBA. There's no debate. It's the minivan. All right, during the Jazz 8-game win streak, Donovan Mitchell has had 3 30-point games, and Rudy Gobert's recorded 7 double-doubles.
Yeah, they've also beaten their opponents by an average of 13 points each win, but we wanted to pick out some of the best individual moments over this winning streak, so here's our top 5 over the past 8 games.
Well, he draws a host of Hornets inside.
Rajon Tucker announced his NBA presence with authority last night against the Hornets. This is his first NBA dunk.
Lillard will drive and shoot, rejected by Gobert. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, Rudy is a beast, there's no doubt. He's only strengthened his case for 3rd straight Defensive Player of the Year during this streak. He's also an undeniable case, making one to be an all-star, at least in my opinion, and that block, of course, got the streak started.
In front of Joe. Gobert switches inside. Hammer for Gobert, two-handed it.
And that's how you finish, big fella.
Rudy was also huge down the stretch against the Bulls. No bigger offensive play than this pick-and-roll dunk with a minute to go. Good enough for number 3.
Sure, that's a problem if your hands are too small, too.
Rudy, again from Joe. Rattles the rim, and the crowd comes.
Yeah, Joe Ingles and Rudy Gobert have some kind of connection going on the offensive end of the floor. That connection's so strong, Eagles didn't even have to look to find Gobert for the dunk on our number 2 play.
Ingles to Mitchell. They'll drive baseline. Oh, hammer home. Oh, Donovan explodes on top of the rim.
Just a 35 for number 1. Donovan with 2 of the best dunks of the year on the road against the Clippers, and then at home against the Pistons. He had a pretty good one against the Knicks, too, that would have qualified as well.
All right, early NBA action today, Minnesota and Houston. Russell Westbrook had a big game, 30 points for the Rockets in this one, knocking down that three-pointer. The only player on the court better than him was James Harden with 32. His highlight of the game, well, it's going to come to beat the buzzer from the corner for 3. And the Rockets, they win by 30. Rough day to be a Minnesota fan.
All right, there's some college basketball action locally. The Aggies have been in some kind of funk lately. Hopefully they can get out of that tonight against Nevada. A team that was ranked top 15 in the country at one point is now riding a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, injuries haven't helped. Neemias Queta, Sam Merrill, both fighting through their own physical challenges. And tonight, they try to correct that course against the Nevada Wolfpack. We'll have complete highlights of that, as well as BYU and Portland coming up tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
There were some other big games today, Sam.
Yeah, also a top 5 matchup between Baylor and Kansas. Baylor's Jared Butler stepped up big. The 3 there gives the Bears a 2-point lead. Not only can he shoot, he can pass. Freddie Gillespie for the dunk. He seals it with back-to-back threes with 5 minutes left. Baylor with its first win at Allen Fieldhouse, 67-55.
That was impressive. Let's check in with Gonzaga. Still holds the top spot in the country. The Zags taking on LMU. Bulldogs get out to a 6-0 run to start. Philip Petrusev with an open look on the dunk. They'd keep control. Anton Watson in transition, the layup and 1. And with a minute to go in the half, Admon Gilder going to knock down the corner 3. 16-point lead for Gonzaga at the half. And they dominate the Lions 87-62. BYU is heading to the kennel 1 week from today.
Hey, how about Syracuse facing number 18 Virginia? Let's go to the final 5 minutes. Q's down 1. Elijah Hughes with the 3 to take a 2-point lead. Virginia answers. Kia Clark to Jay Huff to tie the game. Still tied at the buzzer. Clark misses the game winner, so we're going to go to overtime. In OT, it was all orange. Buddy Boeheim knocks down the 3. Yes, that's Jim's son. Syracuse wins it 63-55.
Georgia on the road against number 5 Auburn. It was all Tigers in this one. Already up 14. Samir Dowdy hits the corner 3, making it 17. Then Anthony McLemore in transition. Easy one at the bucket. And how about Jalen Williams putting an exclamation point on it? Auburn still undefeated, 15-0 with a 22-point win.
Number 11 Ohio State at Indiana. Hoosiers down early in the second. Rob Finney, the jumper for the lead. About 9 minutes later, though, we skip ahead here. Devontae Green goes up and under for the layup. That gives them the lead once again in the final seconds. Green will add the exclamation point with the dunk. He had 19 points off the bench. Indiana with the upset, 66-54.
Back to the SEC, 14th ranked Kentucky hosting Alabama. First half, Kentucky picks up the loose ball in transition. Pass out to Tyrese Maxey. They don't hit a lot of threes, but he gets that one. Kentucky up 10 at the half. A minute left in the game. Wildcats up 4. Nick Richards for 3. And Kentucky rolls 76-67. All right, up next, LSU and Clemson set to clash for a national title Monday. Both head coaches sound off next. It's a dream of Jay Hill and the Weber State football program to reach the FCS National Championship game. They were 1 win away this year, but fell short in the semifinals.
Yeah, the team that beat them, James Madison. They faced the king of FCS football, the North Dakota State Bison, in today's FCS championship game. The Bison going for a 3rd straight title and 8th in the past 9 years.
That is dominance. The only title they haven't won since 2011 was won by James Madison in 2016. James Madison led 7-0, but North Dakota State steals the momentum. This fake reverse leads to a touchdown. This is Phoenix Sproles, 38 yards down the sideline, 14-7 Bison. Second quarter with a 14-10 lead. The Bison roll the dice on a fake field goal. Executed to perfection, 21-10 at the half. They take a 28-13 lead in the 4th quarter when quarterback Trey Lance can't find anyone open, so He turns this into a run play, and he turns it into a touchdown. James Madison did rally, down 8 points with 8 seconds left. Ben DiNucci going for the touchdown, but he's picked off. James Hendricks ends it. 8 titles in 9 years for North Dakota State. A remarkable run of success. All right, 48 hours from now, a new FBS national champion will be crowned as LSU and Clemson will clash in the national championship game.
Yeah, it kicks off Monday at around 6 p.m. Mountain Time. The playoff system seems to have gotten it right this year. The last 2 undefeated teams, they're standing in this both 14-0.
Clemson, the defending national champion. They've won 29 straight games. Can you believe that? Jeez. Trevor Lawrence has never lost as a starting quarterback in college. But the Tigers will be underdogs against the other Tigers from the Bayou. LSU won the SEC title. They crushed Oklahoma in the semifinals. And, of course, they feature Heisman Trophy winner Joe Burrow. They'll also be playing close to home in New Orleans.
I think we're the only one that took a plane here. So, yeah, this is definitely a road game. It just worked out that way. And, I mean, it's just, you know, you don't know these things in advance, but I think it's really cool for LSU. I mean, how cool is that? For them to be able to just hop on a bus and ride up the road 40 minutes or so. And, you know, it'd be like us playing for the national championship in Greenville. Literally.
Everything that we've done up to now is good, but it's not great. We want to be great. And to finish the season strong with a win is our goal. And obviously that is going to be a tough task. But then we look at it, you know, we didn't look at it, hey, man, we got to go down there and win the national championship. It's going to be bigger than ever. We got to play well enough to beat Clemson. And that's been our focus.
We continue with hoops. The Salt Lake City Stars continue their dominance of the G League. They're back in action tonight against the Agua Caliente Clippers at Bruin Arena. At 16-4 on the year, they've won 14 of their last 16 games. Pretty impressive run they're on. They picked up another victory last night against the Memphis Hustle. It was a good night for some Utah Jazz draft picks. Mie Oni had 28 points on 7 of 13 shooting. He was 4 of 7 from 3. Nigel Williams-Goss had 24 points, 7 assists and 4 rebounds. And Jarrell Brantley added 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. The Jazz like the way they are progressing. They've outscored the Memphis Grizzlies, Memphis 14-8 down the stretch to secure the win. Hey, cheap tickets out there. Go get them and check them out tonight.
A couple of our top high school hoops games this weekend. How about Wasatch Academy taking on Desert Valley Prep?
Oh,
Leonardo Calamaro with the flush. And they were just getting it going. And Fusieni Traore, he's going to throw one down as well. And then on the other end of the floor, more from Fus. That's what they like to call. I mean, look at that. That's a big man dunk right there. Matus Ronsky, he's in the corner for 3, knocking it down. And you know, if you haven't caught up already, these guys, they like to fly. Look at Colimero, another jam down the lane. And then Matus gets up on the alley-oop, the receiving end of it. Wasatch Academy, they just keep rolling. Look at that, 114-65.
Those are high school kids, by the way. Tuesday night, high school hoops, Lone Peak at Bountiful. It was the Robert Whaley show. Third quarter, the steal and the dunk. This is the son of former Jazz player Robert Whaley. This game went to overtime where Whaley would slam the door, the block, and then the dunk. Bountiful beat Lone Peak in overtime, 71-67. We're back with more Jazz after this.
See, they were making fun of me last 2 days, but I triple my numbers tonight, so I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, man. Joe Ingles teasing Bojan Bogdanovic after Wednesday's win shows just how much fun this team is having right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Bojan, he's getting grief because he had 35 points, but no rebounds and no assists in that win over the Pelicans. It's the only time in Jazz history that has happened. But in this week's archive, we look back at some Jazz players who came pretty close.
Yeah, it's not easy to score 35 points in a game. Donovan Mitchell on January 12th, 2018 against the Hornets. 35 points, but no assists. Of course, he did have 5 rebounds, so he had that on Bojan.
How about late March of 2016? Rodney Hood had a hot hand against the Lakers. Filled up the net for 30 points, but he also had no assists in the game, and he did pull down 3 rebounds.
Earlier in that same season, Gordon Hayward had a big scoring night against the Nuggets, 34 points. Just 1 assist and 4 rebounds.
Jeff Hornacek could score. He had a big night against the Nuggets in 1994. 12 of 16 from the field for 35 points. He did dish out 4 assists, but no rebounds in that one.
Come on, Horny, get on the boards, man. And then on November 28th, 1992, digging deep for this one, Jeff Malone made 16 of his 21 shots en route to a 40-point night against the Rockets. That's impressive. He did connect on just 2 assists and pulled down just 1 rebound.
Not a single 3 made by Horny or Malone in either of those games.
Did Jeff Malone ever make a 3 in his NBA career?
You're right.
Wasn't his thing. It's cool to see that video, though.